All right, welcome back, everybody. It's time to evaluate the Game Jam submissions. I am joined right now by mentors Ed and mentor Matt, and we are just going to get into it. So, like I said, this is the last week of the summer dark mode streams, but we should be back during the school year with some more streams. If you have any suggestions you would like to make, go ahead and throw them on the comments in CodeLI or even your school community and go ahead and tag us. We are always interested in putting different things in the stream that people may be interested in. I will say we will likely, we are considering running some more game jams during the school year as well as perhaps some other events. So that said, let's go ahead and jump into this week's game jam submissions. So this week's Game Jam theme was day and night, and I'm going to go ahead and start at the bottom here with Hello's Game Jam submission. It's got a hatch project. As always, I tend to ignore people's directions if they give any, so I want to make sure I see them. There's none, so I will just evaluate the project. I am lost, complete. Okay, I can't read that. Gotta go back. I am lost, complete the maze to find my house. It will get dark soon. It's already 8 p.m. Start. All right, so one quick tip, maybe make the save blocks have a little bit more time so I can read them, or at least read them verbally. But all right, so we have a maze game, it looks like. So I'll go to the end, and we made it home in time. And that's the game. All right. What does everyone think? Does anyone have any feedback they'd like to give on this game?
Um, is there anything that happens if you stay on the first screen for a while? Do you lose? Just interested.
Nope. I think
Oh,
that's it. Oh, you mean like this screen?
yeah.
It will get dark soon. Let's see. I'm just gonna, well, let's assume that it doesn't, but maybe we'll get proven wrong. Um, and we'll just wait a while and see. Any other feedback while we're waiting in the meantime?
Uh, Looks like a pretty basic game. Maybe they could have added some more levels, uh, or just
Yeah,
made it a little more complicated.
yeah,
Basically,
I
it's just
agree.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, it's basically just like a maze game, and then kind of switches the background. But yeah, they could definitely add some more.
Yeah, I agree. This submission I saw came in on the 20th, which would have been the day after we streamed last week, I think. Today's the 26th, so that's almost a full week. They had a lot more time they could have utilized in making this project, and I would have liked to have seen more. I think this is a submission where they kind of just wanted to get the badge for participating, but if you're going to the effort, through the effort of creating a game, I would like to see more. So earlier in this live stream, I showed how you can just create a library of animated sprite characters that you can just import to any game you want. So even adding something like that would make this game jump to the next level. I would also like to see maybe some unique things like you could have more levels to this maze. You can do something where it's like every 1 second the background gets darker, so it shows like it's getting to night, and then once it gets completely dark, if you haven't navigated the maze within that time frame, you lose. I think that's what I believe it was Matt may have been alluding to. So there's definitely ways that you can still use a kind of simple game like the game type like a maze game, but still bring it up to that next level where it's really adapting to the theme and really becomes a cool playable game that anyone can enjoy. So, I guess that's it for this game. Thank you, hello, for that submission. We are on to Izzy D. So let's jump into this project. I think this is another Ruby submission, a language we don't often see, but a cool language nonetheless. And if I'm not mistaken, if this continues with the previous week's trends, it is a choose your own adventure style game. So I'll just read this out loud. Would you rather have light or darkness? Positivity or the truth? In order to determine your answer, let me tell you a story. You can rerun the program to see both sides of the tale, or stick with the one you originally chose. There once was a store bursting with business. Choose what you want to know. Light, type in light, or darkness, type in dark. So I'll type in dark. This is the dark mode stream after all. And nothing happened. I think something should have happened. Let's try that again. Dark. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it was me zooming in that caused some kind of glitch. I don't know. So dark. The store was the center of consumerism and the over-monetization of products. The company became so big it eventually stole the locals away from the small community of small town businesses. It became a huge, environmentally unfriendly store chain. All right, let's try the light path. Choose what you want to know, light or dark. Light. The store provided jobs. Okay. What does everyone think about this program? This game here?
I really like the concept of having light and dark outcomes to a situation. It's a very interesting mechanic, and obviously, with your choose your own adventure type of project, it definitely works.
Yeah. So I'm once again going to give some appreciation for the interest in Ruby that Izzy D has been showing. I think it's not paid too much attention to, at least by a lot of people on the platform, but it's a cool language nonetheless. You can kind of write like Python sometimes, but you can also write like C++ if you feel like. That said, I would like to see more levels to this challenge, to this submission. As we know with Choose Your Own Adventure, you can go down these paths. I do really appreciate some of the storytelling, maybe not for the light path, but dark. The writing's actually like pretty good. We often see people kind of neglect the writing when they do these challenges, so I definitely appreciate that. But I would like to see this expanded, especially with the talent for writing it seems that Izzy D has. I will say, if you look into the challenges, you should be able to see the adventure story for Python, and that, I think it's in here. I'm going to go ahead and explore it. Adventure. Oh, do we have one for Ruby? It doesn't have the details I was looking for. So this will actually show you for the Python adventure that you can go through with these layers down where you have these if and if else statements, and you can really create a complex and sprawling story with a bunch of different options and outcomes. So before we go to the other projects, does anybody have anything else they'd like to contribute to Izzy D's project?
I think, yeah, I think the storytelling is very good, but I'm pretty sure Izzy D submitted a pretty similar project last time, if I'm not mistaken. And I think we gave the same feedback. I think it was also like one of those choose your own adventures kind of if else things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we there was definitely a project submitted like this the previous week. So yeah, same feedback we gave last time. We would like to see a more detailed story, or specifically one with more options, nesting those if-else statements inside of each other and really building a progression that you can follow. And then always keep in mind you can always branch out and try different types of games. The idea of these game jams is everyone should be trying to advance their skills every time. Every time you work on a project, you should learn something new. As, for example, as showed in his showcase, he built the program. After he was done with it, he said, I could have coded this way better, and I think everyone experiences that every time they work on a project with code, and we'd like to see some improvement. But otherwise, thank you, Izzy D, for this submission, and we are on to the next one. So now we have last week's winner, Squeaks, and I am interested to see what this individual has submitted to this week's game jam. So I'm pretty sure there's some directions here, so I'm gonna make sure I don't neglect those. They seemed pretty important last time. Before I jump into that, I just want to note some of these games, like this is last week's Fire game, but I love some of the artwork I'm seeing just in these tabs right here. but let's read these directions. During the day, collect energy to keep moving. Before it gets dark, make sure to get out of the way of the monster, who becomes more active at night. Survive as long as you can. Use WASD keys to move. Each key press costs a move. Collect energy to replenish your moves. The longer you live, the higher the score you get. You lose when you run out of moves or when the monster gets you. The monster becomes more active at night and you cannot move. Make sure you get to safety before the screen goes dark. If the monster hits an edge, it will glide to a random point in the center, so be careful. If the monster touches an energy, it takes longer to respawn. Alright, so we're facing a nocturnal monster here, and let's begin. Right off the bat, excellent title. This is definitely playing on the day and night theme, where you have the text and the background opposite each other. I really like how they divided that ampersand, which is the official name of the end symbol, down the middle. And of course, press space to play. And I think it's actually fading in and out. It's super subtle, but let's see. Yeah. Nice. Little details like that. That's what makes the game. All right, so I'm going to press space and let's get into it. Okay, so WASD to... Oh, there's the monster. I didn't get to move. I don't think I'm going to last very long. I take that back. I made it. All right, I'm going to try to get these energies. Monster getting pretty close there. Okay, I'm going to try to get away from the edge because hopefully he doesn't go here when he collides with the edge. It did say it kind of biases towards the middle.
I really like the monster's expression at night, how it turns angry, and then the player is
Yeah, I'm
sleeping.
going to zoom into that. Oh, never mind, I lost. All right, so let's see if I can run this back and do a little bit better. So yeah, there's I already didn't do better, I guess. There's animations on the energies, which I like. Yeah, I already lost. There's animations on the energies, which are awesome. And then exactly like you said, at night, the monster gets those angry eyes, starts moving around. And also the player sprite. Look, during the day, I'm active, I'm aware, and then at night it seems like it almost like squints its eyes to be less seen and more hidden. So I'm going to waste some moves and risk it all for some of these energy balls.
Is there any winning condition to this game you found yet?
I didn't notice one. Maybe we'll look back in the directions or like maybe peek in the code, but I don't think there is. Uh-oh, I might just be risking it for no good reason. No, go away. Yes. I am gonna sit tight around here. That was close. I don't know why I bothered getting that energy. I don't think it benefited me. That seemed like he was targeting me there. All right, what does everyone think of this game?
I think great animation, great gameplay, keeps you in suspense at night. The only thing I think you could improve on is maybe a background for the daytime, because I don't know, it gets a little boring with the white background, and at night it'd be acceptable to see the whole thing turn black, but day maybe you could have like some trees. I don't know.
I gotcha. I both agree and disagree. Like I kind of, having something more interesting to look at when it's not dark, is would be good. But I kind of also like the minimalist approach here, where it's just white for day and black for night, and it even ties in with this the home screen. So I think they were really going for this minimalist design, and although I agree it could go in other directions, I actually have no problem with it. What I think a cool feature would be is if like you get to a certain number of points, you can like get skins. So it's like you have exactly like you described. Maybe there's just like some grass and bushes and trees, and then when it goes to nighttime, they get real dark with like those purplish hues to them to kind of invoke a night theme, which actually at the start of every stream, if you pay attention, that's what I do. I have the regular daytime Oyo cityscape, and then it goes to nighttime with the stars in the background, and it gets the blue goes more towards that darker purplish blue. So I think having some added skins is like power-ups if you hit scores could be cool.
It's nice to see that they address some of the criticisms from last time. You see on the start screen, I think if I recall correctly, this was the project that said press fans to start. Now they fixed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, just as well. There was a lot of writing in that. In that game,
Yeah.
there was a lot of writing, much more opportunity for typos.
Hmm.
I wonder if I can lose during the day. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna attack the monster. Can I attack the monster? Get over here. Nope. Monster still wins at night, during the day. Um,
I like how it fades away to black during the day,
yeah,
and it
right.
fades away to white during the night.
So awesome game execution. I do think that implementing something like perhaps a win condition, or I get how this is supposed to be like an infinite gameplay type thing, a leaderboard. I think having a leaderboard, or even at the end, having a thing that appears that says your score is, and then appearing would make this a little bit more complete, real polished. And then, of course, there are now cloud variables in Hatch, so you can actually create a leaderboard if you want to try a hand at doing that. So, thank you for the submission, Squeaks. This was a really cool game. It's impressive to see what kind of games can be produced within a week. So I'm gonna go back here, and we have 2 more games to look at today. A little too far back. So next is funteamio, and I'm gonna, if this is who I'm thinking it is, we probably have another solid game submission on our hands. No directions. Take it back, they're in the game. Okay. 6 minutes on the clock. Ooh, do you see this kind of this parallax that happens as I
Yeah,
move my mouse around?
that immediately strikes me
Nice.
to parallax scrolling. Gives a depth to the project.
All right. At the break of dawn, a pair of travelers set off on a journey that would one day become a legend. It was a tale of adventure, a journey against impossible odds. And this is how it began. I'm going to go ahead and assume that the bouncing down arrow means press the down arrow key. Nope, I gotta click. Or wait, I'm going to start that over because I wasn't actually looking at my screen. Does the down arrow key work? No, it works when I click. Okay, the truth is, we don't know how it really began. Some say they wanted fame. Others claim they seeked adventure. One thing remains the same. No matter what version you hear, you always hear about the stories. Every night, the travelers would build a campfire and tell each other stories.
Wow.
Nice animation. After a day of traveling, the travelers made their campfire and sat down. For the first time, they told each other stories. Little did they know they were making history. The next day, the pair woke up and went out to hunt. After eating their breakfast, they continued on their long journey. They had yet to reach Antarctica. Some journey.
I love the color changing. Smooth
Yeah,
color
right?
changes.
Every day they hunted, traveled, and told stories. That is some time lapse. Days passed. or weeks maybe. Um, now it's weeks. Weeks passed, and I'm gonna say, anyone watching this right now, if you have epilepsy or anything like that, hang on for a second. I think we're gonna have some more blinking. Years passed. Wow. Until they finally completed their mission. And I think some of the blinking is done if you averted your eyes for a moment. Until they finally completed their mission. They placed the flag of America on the cold ice of Antarctica and left to start the journey home. Blinking may commence again, so beware. I take it back. Many people claim that what the travelers did was insignificant, but this story was never about the result. It was always about the journey. I would know since I am the descendant of one of the two. The end. Okay, what does everyone think about this game jam submission?
Is there anything more when you click again? Or no?
There's been no directions provided, and I am clicking random things on my keyboard and clicking on everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
Okay. Well, it's definitely, maybe it's not a game, but it's more of a story, and it's really good at being a story. I can tell you that. Great storytelling. Very interesting. I love the animations. The parallax is very impressive, and I think the colors. I actually had a project where I was trying to do that, and it was very complicated. The colors changing
It's
from
not easy.
sky. Yeah. Very
Yeah,
tough.
that's my first critique. It's not a game. I guess the definition of a game becomes difficult to really hone in on if you really want to get real philosophical about it. But in general, I would say this is like an interactive story rather than a game. We can't choose different things. There is just a start and an end. That said, a lot of the programming tackled in this game is very impressive, and the storytelling, the writing was pretty solid. Little things like the parallax, that sun going in and out, the colors changing, and then even this timer here. Many people just use a variable showed up on the screen, but to actually have um, several sprites, each for the numbers, and then have a whole library of costumes that it switches between. Little additions like that really make this um, a pretty nice submission. I just would have liked to see if there was some kind of gameplay. Last week, Squeaks had a similar kind of thing where they had a lot of there was a lot of storytelling, but eventually there was a game that it kind of built up to, and arguably even most of that project was the storytelling part that came before. There was still some kind of gameplay. So I would like to see that, but I do not want to take away from how well this was executed otherwise. Um, any other contribution or not contribution, but any other feedback either of you would like to give?
I think even a little bit more interactivity would have made it a much better game. Just make it more of a game, I guess.
Yeah, maybe if they added like a gameplay aspect somewhere. Well, I was thinking maybe they do like some hunting or something. I don't know. It would make it better.
Yeah, hunting, or even if it was just something like small where it's like in the daytime, you just move the character from the left to the right side of the screen, so it's like you're participating in the story. I don't know if that's really a game that's still an interactive story, but at least you get to participate a little bit more. But yeah,
Or putting the
would
flag in
like
Antarctica, that would be cool to see.
yeah, actually that's a good addition. Just plant that flag. Um, nice. So would like to see some more gameplay, but otherwise, nice submission, some solid animations going on here. So I'm gonna step back. Thank you, funteamio, for that submission. We're gonna jump into our last submission for this theme. Crowd favorite, Duck Rat. Whoops. Go full screen here. Congrats on being elected mayor. All right, hit space to continue. So we got some familiar characters here. I think that was the king last time. Now, you got to prove yourself. We also have the scrolling text, also a nice addition. And this is a great example of something that you program in one game that you can now, since you have it programmed, implement it in all your other games. Kind of just like the spreads I was showing. These animated scrolling letters are something else you can do like that. We can't just let anyone be the mayor, so you got to practice being a mayor. Have a practice day, do your paperwork, and help some citizens. Don't take too long, or you will fall asleep. So, help bake a breadstick. None of the sticks can reach the roof. They still have to rebuild it. Okay, I'm gonna click teleport to task. Nothing else interacts. Okay. Hey, we're waiting for you. Can you help us fix our roof? We can't reach the roof. Place the missing planks on the roof. How? Oh. Oops. Oh, I guess I just click and fill in the holes. I think. I ran out of sticks. Give permits to go mining in the underground caves. I'm gonna guess that's pronounced Mirzos, but Mirzos. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say yeah, they get permits. Repair an old building and make it a museum. Donate money to fix. Oh, this is the paperwork. Donate money to fix buildings affected by a flood. Why not? Build a new library. Sure. Give the Mirzos permits to go mining in the underground caves. I'm gonna revoke that license. Repair an old museum. Okay. How did I fail? Thought
You're
I
supposed
got
to
all
do
of it
something
done.
before it turns to nighttime.
Yeah, but I was on repeat. Let's try that again. I'm gonna kind of speed through here. And I just want to point out something that I didn't get to last time. Go to the practice day, teleport to task. This is awesome.
No.
This building right here, the building with the bread and the windows, and then it has a baker's hat for a roof. And then of course our favorite character.
I like the fancy text box too.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, this.
Where the text, where the characters are talking, it's decorated with flowers.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't even realize that. Like this is the text box. I forget what kind. I could forget how you describe that style of game where it's kind of like, kind of RPG. Yeah, kind of RPG like. But it's not. But you have those word bubbles and the characters talking on the bottom. So I'll hit space. Can you help us fix our roof? We can't reach the roof. Place the missing planks on the roof. Fixing this roof like a pro right now. Almost. There we go. Done. Repair an old... No. Donate money? No. 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 Oh, I think you just had to say no to everything. I'm not sure. But we have baker breadstick and squirrel stick, or squirrel stick, I think. Congrats, you're the new mayor. And I think that's it. All right, what does everyone think?
I like it. It's got different phases. It's got doing the roof. It's doing the budget. It's good to have variation in your game, and I love the art style too.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty nice game. Yeah, it's just I think it's kind of weird how like to become the mayor, you got to kind of conserve your budget and not spend on anything. That's my guess, right?
I think maybe I was just it could have been a bug and I was like clicking too slow. I'm gonna while we're talking, I'm gonna just get to that again and say yes to everything real quick.
Hmm.
But yeah. So as always, I love the artwork. I love these characters. Um, I think Duckrat has an excellent sense of humor as well. Um, oh, some different interesting games, creative games. Uh, maybe more for execution. I'm gonna try saying yes to everything before I continue. Okay, so I think you just need to do all the paperwork regardless of what it is within the allotted time. Um, I think kind of something Matt said made me think this would be a good addition to the game where you do have to make decisions and it's like you get a budget, so you have like a budget variable, and each item that you choose to do takes away from that budget, and then incorporating that into the game, first of all, it'd be a little bit more real world, but also there'd be some more gameplay to it. It looks like there's just kind of a one-way direction with this, and if you don't click enough times before day's done, um, you run out of time. And then I think the connection to the theme is a little lacking. Like I think the general idea of like do things like using day and night as a form of a timer is good, but maybe a little bit like something happening from day to day, or I don't know. I think there could have been a little bit more to adhere to the theme. Anybody else have feedback they'd like to give on this challenge? Project submission? No? All right. So just to recap, love the artwork. Always love these the submissions from Duckrat. Funny and always interesting. I'd like to see a little bit more cohesion in some of the game narrative and maybe a little bit more gameplay. But I do like how Duckrat does use features created in previous games and reusing them into new games, because that is definitely a way you can quickly expand your game development skills and games and create more interesting projects. So thanks, Duckrat, for that submission. And that concludes all the submissions we have for this week's theme, day and night. So before I announce the winner, I do want to reiterate this is our last stream for the summer, but we will be back during the school year with some more dark mode live streams as well as some different competitions. The school year is starting, so I hope everyone has a good start to the school year, as sad as it is to see summer end. Keep in mind, during the school year, we do have challenges. So if you do have OYO class in your school, keep an eye out for those. There have been a bunch of new additions made this year. And then we do, as always, have the hackathons. So if you are interested, check out to see if your school has a hackathon team and see how you can be a part of it. And interacting in the kidOYO community is always a great way to up your skills and see what other people from other districts are doing. So with that said, and without further ado, it's time to announce this week's Game Jam winner. So we had some good submissions, but ultimately I'm gonna have to go ahead and give this week's winner to Squeaks. This game, just to jump back into it, solid gameplay, solid artwork, the little features are real nice. I can definitely see how this could be expanded, but even without those expansions, it does stand on its own. And I would definitely love to see some things implemented, like a win condition or a high score leaderboard, things like that. Power-ups. So once again, thanks everyone for submitting to this week's Game Jam theme, and thanks to everyone who has been participating in the Game Jams and viewing the Dark Mode live stream. Like I said, we'll be back during the school year with some different streaming content, but otherwise, Thanks for watching this episode. I hope everyone has a good start to the school year and have a good afternoon. Thanks.